It is the Riots on RadioU. I'm almost awake.
Almost?
I feel like I've almost climbed out of it.
So if you were listening to yesterday's podcast, we talked about Lord, what was it?
Zizal.
Zizal, Lord Zizal, which is not the official term, but it's Zizal, allergy medicine, because our allergies are really bugging us, and everybody was recommending that, saying it was like, oh, this new generation of allergy medicine, and you should be fine and won't make you tired. It'll make you not angry, that sort of stuff that sometimes allergy medicine can do. And Obi went and tried it, and you took some. And it hit you pretty hard.
Like, you know what? I did okay last night.
You weren't angry or anything, were you?
No.
It was just tired?
No, just, so I took some about 2 or 3 o'clock, and I think it's a 24-hour pill, maybe.
You were still that tired after taking it at 2 or 3 o'clock?
In the afternoon yesterday.
Wow.
And so I noticed last night, like just kind of sitting there, and I was going to play games, and I started playing games, and I was like, I'm just too tired. Like, I just can't. And I thought, that's weird to be this tired.
Because at night, you're never tired. That's when you need to go to sleep.
I didn't really connect how tired I was with having taken it. And so last night I went to bed early, and man, this morning I decided when I went to bed, I was like, I feel like I really need extra rest. So normally I work out before the show. I just went ahead and set my alarm later and did not go to the gym this morning. I probably should have. It would have woken me up a little bit. And I mean, I could have laid down on the cold floor outside the studio and just slept. So you'll hear more about it in the podcast. But and Nikki seems to think that it made me like mouthy, but
no, but you were willing to talk longer about more subjects that became important. They were important.
Like prom?
Well, you'll hear about that. Is that in here? Weddings. Prom and weddings. That's the perfect example. And I think what you were saying was right, but just how involved you were in it was shocking. So
well, I've thought about it a lot. I just finally got a chance to get it out. So
anything else in the podcast you want to highlight? Or is it just going to be a surprise?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It's all a blur.
That's also a side effect.
Could be.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast today. We're doing Worst of Riot tomorrow, so no podcast tomorrow.
Right.
But,
that is correct.
That is in honor, of course, for Avengers. No, just teasing.
Yeah, no. I'm taking tomorrow off, and I might see Avengers, or
you might sleep.
I might sleep all day.
You might not see it.
I'm not sure what's going to happen.
That shows you how tired he is if he'd be willing to skip the tickets he already has to the movies and just sleep.
I'm still thinking about it. So, hey, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the podcast, and we'll see you later.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Friends by Friends Coke Freestyle Machines. We're all friends, right? It's the Riot on RadioU.
I made a terrible mistake last night, and I'm paying for it this morning.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Yesterday afternoon around 1:30, I took some allergy medicine.
Yeah, the new stuff? No?
Oh, my gosh.
Is it bad?
I'm so wasted.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
But it's supposed to be not the bothering you one.
Yep.
How weird.
I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I can tell. I know what it's like to be tired because, hey, I didn't get enough sleep or whatever. There's something about your body kind of like overcomes that on some level. This is drug-induced tired.
Yeah,
like,
where you can't overcome it.
You can't just push past it. And so, like, I am... Oh, my gosh. I'm so tired.
How are the allergies feeling?
Oh, I'm breathing great.
Okay, as long as that's better,
No problem.
All right. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I thought that you would do better with that one.
I mean, I could literally lay down and go, I could be asleep in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It is
yesterday,
it's bad.
We were talking about our allergies are just wrecking us anyways yesterday, and then someone mentioned
Lord Zizal.
a allergy medicine called Zizal, and then if you look it up, we were talking about how there's different classes or like categories of allergy generations. That's the word. Mm-hmm. So you have like your old school generation 1, which could wreck you and might bother you. You have your second generation 1, which is like the Zyrtec and all the Claritins.
They're like, oh, it's fine.
So those got a little better with like the side effects. And so then supposedly there's this third generation of allergy medicine that would have less side effects for you. Mostly would make you so tired or out of it. And that was supposed to be this Zizal and a bunch of others, and that's a negative on you.
I'm so tired.
Aww.
Like it is rough. And I mean, yes, whining, whatever. No, it's like
whining makes it feel a little better, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to go make some coffee. And I'm going to be chugging coffee all morning because it's just like maybe if I could get enough caffeine, maybe I could get.
I'm sure that won't hurt the medicine in your body as well. You're like, what have I just done?
I don't know, whatever.
All right.
I just got to get through the show. It's fine.
That's all you got to do. We don't mind. We're fine. You just close your eyes for a minute.
You're listening to the worst of the Riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
I could definitely go for a little extra caffeine this morning as I'm battling back against an allergy medicine that I never should have taken. Oh, if only I could go back in time and undo it.
Oh, but you thought it would be fine, and it's not.
It's not, really. Coca-Cola is unveiling Coca-Cola coffee?
It's like a plus coffee.
It's called Coke Coffee. And the idea is that you're getting Coke, but it's got a little bit of coffee in it.
See, I kind of feel like Coke has done this already, but is it not? Or what am I thinking of?
Back in 2008, in 2006, they introduced Coca-Cola Black, which they discontinued in 2008. I had that.
Yeah.
And it was just...
Was that the same thing, or...?
Well, they're not saying.
Is it the same batch? Are we just getting a new label to it?
Well, I'll have to say, to me, it sounds an awful lot like somebody going, "Hey, let's bring it back.
Let's try it again." I think enough time has passed; they won't remember.
It's been 11 years.
Except for those two people on the radio, they'll remember.
They remember all the foodses.
It is Coke Coffee, which will be exactly what it sounds like: coffee and Coke mixed together, which some people like.
Mm-hmm. Here's a quote. The drink is a mix of both coffee and Coke, and as such, has less caffeine than the former and more than the latter. It also has less sugar than pure Coke. So, in other words, you would get more caffeine out of just drinking coffee. So, yeah.
But better if you were just drinking Coke.
Right.
Okay, so it'll be released in 25 markets, they say, by the end of the year.
I'm not interested.
No, not at all? But you're not one who mixes the two together. That's a taste that some people like. Not everybody likes it.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
There are people out there
Coke and coffee. Yeah, you put it all together.
Are you sure that you're not thinking about rum or something?
Coke, coffee, and rum. That might be something too, but no, some people put Coke and coffee together.
All right. Well, the sound of that does not appeal to me. Now I get it because you got coffee, which is bitter, and then Coke, which would be sweet, and so mixing the two, arguably, it would be like putting maybe sugar or creamer or something in your coffee. I get that. The
drink should taste a lot just like a regular Coke, and it'll have 80 milligrams of natural caffeine.
Jake's okay. Natural caffeine in a soda, that's not a thing.
Put up the air quotes. It seems like they've been testing this formula under Coca-Cola Plus Coffee in Australia for a couple of years. So now it'll be in other places.
Jake texted us and says, and I quote, "They already did this and it tasted horrible."
Well, I know, but Jake, you're not supposed to remember that. Coca-Cola just wants you to think new, think at the end of this year. It's not the same thing.
Right.
Even though it is the same thing.
Not even close.
So it's Coca-Cola Coffee.
Coca-Cola Coffee later this year. And I guess, if you want to jumpstart on it, that one time Hudson and I brewed coffee with Coke.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, you could really, again, make this at home without too much. This isn't in a DIY. This isn't hard at all. I don't need to go and, look it up on Pinterest.
It's a good call.
Unless you want to, then that's fine.
Nikki, it's all about ratios,
Yeah, the ratios. How much to how much.
When life is this good, you don't need a vacation. So, get back to work. It's The Riot on Radio U.
I'm just watching the video. I hadn't seen the video yet.
Of the lady? You hadn't watched it?
No, I looked at the photos, but not the video.
Oh, it just really hits it home, doesn't it? How could someone do this?
You know what? I think maybe we just, as a society, we're just going to have to relax. Now, what Nikki and I are talking about is this. We've seen the peeing mailman. That was something.
That's the guy who just was peeing as he walked up to deliver mail.
Up to deliver mail, and he's just peeing.
The homeowner was like, what is all this all over the front porch? And that was the post guy, and it was caught on camera.
Yeah, they got it. So we've seen slightly edited videos, but you can figure it out.
But we've seen a lot when it seems like delivery people, either they treat your package terribly or they're using the bathroom and it's your property.
Mm-hmm. So and you know what? I just want to say it's normally men. Though, okay, that being said, I feel like we've had more female poopers. Because
remember the Tim Hortons lady from Canada?
Still wake up sweating in the middle of the night. The nightmares from that.
Remember the one where they were trying to figure out who was doing it on their run every day? And wasn't it a lady?
There was 2 runners.
Yeah.
There was one lady who did that, and then another lady who was just in front of these people's house every day. Like the kids are out playing, and she just...
goes to the bathroom.
So here we have an Amazon delivery woman.
First off, she treats the package very roughly, if you notice that in the first part of the video.
Which
so that's
is
strike one.
Strike one. Then strike 2, she's paid for a U-Haul rental van, which I'm seeing that more, where people are renting vehicles
to do the deliveries. Yes, that's what they're doing.
And so then she just walks out to the driveway where the U-Haul van is that she's rented. She seems to kind of look around, and then she just drops draws, as it were, pees on the
driveway.
The driveway, which, I mean, okay, would you rather have her pee on the driveway or the grass?
The grass, not the driveway.
The thing about the driveway is if it rains, it's just gonna,
Yeah, but you're not walking. I don't walk through the grass all the time, but that's your driveway. You're driving over it. You're walking in it. She's walking in it.
She's giving you the San Francisco experience. She really is. And then... when the lady reported it with the video, she was offered a $5 Amazon credit.
Wow, Amazon. That later has been up to $100. And the lady's no longer delivering for Amazon. So.
Here's what I love. Amazon.
And the lady was home while she was doing this.
This happens often enough that Amazon has procedures in place. They're just like, okay, yep, all right.
Here's your $5.
We got another peer. All right, $5. Is that good for you? No? All right, up it to 2020. Is that good?
Can't we have pride in our jobs, whatever you do? If you're delivering packages, don't throw them like that at the door, and then don't go to the bathroom on the driveway. These are all things you thought were covered, but maybe not.
I had a conversation with somebody last night, and they actually said to me, they were like, I never explicitly told them they couldn't do that. It just seemed to make sense that they wouldn't. Nope. Anytime you see a sign, know that someone has done the exact thing that sign says not to do. And apparently we're going to have to start putting a please don't pee on my property sign.
Well, people were commenting, I think, again, through Reddit, that she was flying through the neighborhood also. So, she was just a bad driver in general. And if you watch the video, she's not, urgently having to go to the bathroom. So for some people, they throw out, it's a medical excuse. No one believes that. They just think she was just doing that to do that.
Well, maybe as a society, we should just get more okay with people, going.
I will never ever be okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a generational thing. Our generation will not be okay with it, but we choose to let it go. And then eventually, in 3 generations, we have a group of people that are they're always peeing.
There's also, for me, there's hardly toilets.
Dogs do it?
No, there's hardly toilets that I can use, for public restrooms and gas stations. I can't even use that, let alone just out in broad daylight on someone's driveway when you're delivering a package. I don't know how someone can go to the bathroom like that.
Well, Nikki, that's because you've got societal blocks in place. If we free you, I'm going to send you to a hypno-urinary therapist.
Just wrong. So, Amazon lady, she's been in trouble and she's not delivering anymore.
Yeah, that's something.
And please, nowadays, not everybody, but a lot of people have cameras at their door. I don't know why you think you'd get away with it.
Well, I feel like it's time for me to get one.
Because you never know. Even though I never catch any fun stuff like this, that'd be great to get one of these viral videos.
Would it?
Yeah, well, it's not me doing it.
Wait. So what if we staged it? What if I came over and peed in your driveway?
Okay, no. I want organic.
Oh, it's organic.
I want it to happen.
100%.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the RIOT is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the RIOT on RadioU.
I think I finally found it, the Beat Saber video, and there's a note on it that says there was a narrow window in which Facebook videos did not render properly. And I want you to know that that's when this happened.
Oh, really? So great. Okay.
Yeah, it's right here. So, that will be posted shortly if you want to get a look at it, and it is on our Facebook page. So, that's a thing. Now, if you get hungry when you get done playing your round of Beat Saber, we've got news now confirmed that Kit Kat is launching its first flavor in more than 10 years
in the United States, because that's the distinction. You get tons of other great flavors in other countries, but we don't get those. So first new one in 10 years.
All right, so here we've got mint plus dark chocolate Kit Kat duos. Confirmed.
So it'll be starting in December of this year. That'll be nationwide. December. It's this year, but it's just the end of the year.
Guys, stop. We have got to stop announcing things 300 years in advance.
So for this duo, it is dark chocolate on the lower part and then of the Kit Kat, and then the mint cream one is on top. So that's why they call it a duo.
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, if it's a food product and you're announcing it, you should be saying, and it's available now.
That's not what they're doing.
At whatever.
Do you recall what this is then? Do you know what this is? If you remember a few years ago, we had a listener come back from New Zealand.
I do remember that.
And bring us back a ton of Kit Kats.
Yes.
Usually we have Kit Kats from like Japan or China, and they're always very small.
Yes.
When we got to the New Zealand ones, they were actually...
Is that the one that was like one large, long Kit Kat?
There was a bunch of bigger ones, and they had these kind of like duos. It's not called duos, but it's kind of like a similar style.
Okay.
And do you remember the mint chocolate chip one that we had from New Zealand?
Is that the one we didn't like, though?
No, that's the one we loved more than life itself at that time.
Oh, boy.
I think that is a similar style to the New Zealand one we had.
Well, I hope that's true.
Because we could have that again.
Because it'll be coming out around Christmas, and at least the candy thing happens a lot at Christmas.
It does, and I love mint. So mint and dark chocolate, that's a good combo.
You love Kit Kats.
I do love Kit Kats so much. I absolutely adore them. That and Snickers, that's the two things. Yes, put that in a combo.
And
Why can't we have that duo? Snickers on top and a Kit Kat on bottom.
We can make that.
We could totally do that.
We can make that. That's not... you just said something that's not hard for us to do.
That's not impossible. So that is the new Kit Kat flavor, but you have to wait till December.
Mint chocolate. No, mint
and dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm. It does look good. Though I will tell you, I feel like the color's a little off. The color feels like the flavor's not going to be quite what it needs to be.
Well, it's more that artificial mint color.
Exactly.
But maybe it's just a picture.
That's what makes me a little scared. But, we color correct this and everything's fine.
Kit Kat knows how to do a mint flavor. That's nothing new for them in other international markets, so I'm not worried. It'll taste good.
I get a little worried. But you know what? It's fine.
That's your distrusting nature.
It
and
is.
Afraid to feel like you're being disappointed and lied to. And
that's on me, guys.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the riot. Obviously. Radio U.
They say Avengers this weekend is going to break every box office record ever.
They keep throwing around, they think 900 million worldwide for like its opening, but that would be quite impressive.
I've seen as much as 1 billion.
Could be possibility.
That's what I heard. But here's the question.
They're throwing around.
Here's a question. How much of that is true, and how much of it is that they're making it true by telling you it?
Well, the thing, though, that we talked about this yesterday, movie theaters are going to 24 hours for this weekend, and I maybe even into next week, too. So normally a movie theater closes down so that cleaning can be done and everyone could sleep and get a good night before the next day of movies start again. But not in this case. It's literally staying open 24 hours so that you could just keep doing Avengers over and over and over again.
Man, that movie theater is going to be one big walking taco by the end of the...
I bet you... Do you move... Does anybody work at a movie theater? Because you must hate this weekend. Or do you live off the excitement?
Walk in, it's like, man, hot nacho.
Just everywhere.
It's bad. You know what? I would like to think that you get excited about it. When I worked retail, when I worked at a music store, I would get excited about releases, not because I cared for the music, but it was always fun to interact with people that were excited about it. So they would come in and be like pumped to pick up their whatever vinyl or, whatever it is they were there to get. And it was exciting to deal with them because you just made their day.
Sure.
That was cool. Does that mean that... You know, how much interaction do you have with the guy at the popcorn counter? I don't know.
And is it usually positive?
Well,
or is it negative? I don't know.
Here's something to think about. What if, here we go.
What?
What if you make it positive?
Oh, but
what if you walk up and you're just like, hey, Brad, if this is their name on the name tag, like, how's your weekend going? Good. I'll take a popcorn, whatever. You've been having a good time with all these people around or whatever?
What if Brad is stressed because, this is the big weekend. You don't get any breaks this weekend.
Well, what you could do is you could add a little sunshine in his life by just treating him like a human being and not a device that delivers your popcorn.
I understand that, but most people do not get that concept.
Right. But I'm saying now we're talking about...
They can't learn in a few minutes or whenever they go.
We're humanizing the people in the service industry.
Yeah, we're supposed to.
Which is what we're talking about.
Because they are human.
Right. That's a person. That is not a robot delivering popcorn to you. That's Brad. Brad's parents, they've had some rough times, but they love him. They've stuck together. He's a solid B student.
He's fine.
And is hoping to go to Columbus State when he graduates to get an associate's and possibly move on to a 4-year degree. Well, his girlfriend recently broke up with him.
He's got a story.
Yeah, he's a person.
So Rachel texted, used to work at GameStop, loved doing midnight releases. So that was always fun, I guess, there.
All right. DJ says, I worked at a theater for a couple of Twilight openings. It was kind of fun to do midnight releases. There you go.
This is not a midnight release, though. This is a... This is a marathon.
Yeah.
You're going into an Avengers marathon.
It's true. It's true. But you know what, Nikki? Think about this. This is every one of those early showings is a midnight release to the people that are going.
That are going there. Yeah, it just meant you couldn't get tickets
welcome.
to the midnight release, so that's why you're going at 8 a.m.
Well, listen, Nikki, you do what you can.
Yes, which is why Obi's off tomorrow, and a lot of other people will be, too.
The Riot was this close from becoming the absolute worst morning show in radio. Yep, they can't even win at losing. It's the worst of The Riot on RadioU.
You know where Nikki and I are. You know what we're doing. We're sitting here lobbying for Netflix to be allowed to submit their movies to the Academy Awards for Oscar consideration.
Who was it? Which was it? Steven Spielberg who
Steven
was against
Spielberg,
that?
yes.
Like there was a couple of high-profile Hollywood people that did not want Netflix to be able to be a part of the process when it comes to Oscar movies.
There was that, but then wasn't there like a... Didn't he back off of that a little bit where he was like, hey, it's taken out of context, something?
It came off, I think, in the beginning as very strong that Steven Spielberg was saying that. And then people reminded him of certain things of his career and a few others that it said, oh, we'll never do something like this. And then before you know it, you're doing something for Netflix.
Yeah.
So I think he backed off.
Well, it's interesting because if you spend a little time listening to film directors, a lot of directors are in love with not just the large screen format, but some of them could write a love letter to film, like photochemical film. Mm-hmm. Christopher Nolan, the guy who gave us the 3 Batman movies and Dunkirk and all this stuff. Listen to him talk about film stock and the process of film. Like he loves film. And you're like, yes, he loves film.
Yes, we get it.
No.
The physical
a reel
of
of film. He loves it. It was him, and I think it was Spielberg I heard talk about it, where Spielberg was talking about the projection of a film being a process that is quote unquote alive.
Yeah,
because the projection of the film, a photochemical film, the way the grain works and the way it moves, no two prints are exactly the same, and like all this stuff. And
they didn't like that compared to like us being at home watching a movie on Netflix. They felt like that cheapens the movie experience that they were creating, but it came off as a bit
part of the
bit much.
Well, it's interesting because part of their argument is this weekend. Anybody who goes to see a movie on opening weekend knows it's the best way to see a movie.
Yeah, of course.
Going with a crowd of people that are hyped, it goes from being a movie to a community experience.
And you know what? Then you're more likely to actually like the movie.
Absolutely.
And compared to like 7 weeks in, it's about ready to leave the theater, and you just
You're
think
there
it's
all by
okay.
yourself,
Yeah,
and
you might not like it as much.
There's absolutely something to that. So the opening weekend crowds are the best way to see a movie. But all of this to say that it looks like the Academy is softening their stance. Here's the headline. Academy votes to allow Netflix films to compete at next year's Oscars after Hollywood tried to push them out as the streaming giant, blah, 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 blah.
There you go. Someone just texted in, let's get one thing straight. Netflix isn't cheap, so why would the movie be? That is a statement for a lot of what Netflix does. Not all of it.
Yeah.
But it's getting way, way, way better where you're getting, much bigger budgets and stuff. But they don't like that the movie that could be up for an award never went to theaters.
Right.
So that's their problem.
Well, it's a bypassing of the traditional quote-unquote studio system, on top of which, they're all in it together. Right, the theater guys make the money, the movie guy make the money, the money.
Popcorn people make the money. It's all there.
Netflix has got this factory direct vibe going. Some people don't like that. I don't know. Netflix is raising their prices, and I don't know if I like them anyway.
How about this? We don't like any of them. We're still paying, but we don't like it.
And I'll tell you, you can talk Disney Plus all you want, but you know what? Disney ain't your friend. Disney's just like Netflix. They just want your money.
They're going to get you in at that low price, and then before you know it, a couple years go by, and you're paying $20 too.
All of these companies are pretending to be your friend, and now we're on a whole other thing. We're living in the dystopian future where we are not loyal to countries. We're loyal to companies. Come on. Pretty soon, the great Disney-Netflix war. It's happening.
One of the only things left that isn't owned by Disney. The Riot on RadioU.
I like Tim's read on that liner. Is it Christmas yet?
Nope. And
it's supposed to be.
That can run the whole year. It's the whole year this can run.
There's supposed to be like a hint of like hope in there, and instead he's very like.
Well, I feel like the hope doesn't come until after summer, so at least early in fall.
Nikki and I know how to generate the hope right now. Like, we could go ahead and, like, if you want to start just talking about,
we have that on ready to go anytime.
You know what? I'm taking tomorrow off. Maybe I should put the tree up.
Well, Christmas in July, it's practically that.
I'm just a little early for Christmas in July, but so what, right?
I still have people in the neighborhood who have not yet taken down their Christmas lights.
Okay, yeah. I drove past this house the other day, and they had Christmas lights on the bushes, and they were turned on.
Weird.
And the only thing I could think, we got a whole thing now. Look, okay.
Because you want to go ask them, but you don't want to be rude. Be like, hey, what's going on?
I wondered if it was one of those things where they were like, hey, we're celebrating Easter, but with Christmas lights. And it was like that.
What was the colors? Was it just white?
It was like multicolored, whatever. But then, this is the part that really weirded me out. The other day, out running, early in the morning, so like it was dark and lights were on, I jogged past somebody's house, and they had a big plastic Easter bunny.
Yeah, on the
lighted
front.
Easter bunny in their lawn.
I've seen people with
the blow-up. Is that a thing?
I've seen the people with the blow-up ones. Like at Christmas, you have like the blow-up
put some
Santa.
Dynamite in it, and it just...
the one that has the air in it that inflates.
Yeah.
But then there was an Easter bunny one. So some people are getting into Easter bunny, or just... That's not the holiday. Easter. It's not just about the bunny.
Some people are getting into Easter bunny worship.
I mean, it's whatever you could find for decorations, but I've seen some people start doing that.
I don't know. There's something really weird about this one to me. And it may have just been that it was so early in the morning, but just running, and there's this glowing bunny just staring at me as I run by. You were like...
Well, they still have Christmas lights up as well.
No, this was two houses. Different house. So it was actually the glowing image of Easter whatever staring down at me as I went by that made me think, maybe some people put up Easter lights because they're like, it's not fair that Jesus doesn't get lights for the Easter.
I think some people like you, what would be the term? Daisy chain? Or you just keep going with like the holidays?
You just put more up every time? Yeah,
you just put up and then you just keep the lights and make it kind of work for the holiday. Or I know a lot of people who just leave them up until it's nicer weather. But we've been way into nicer weather for a while. So if they're up, they're still, I guess, staying up.
They're like, if I can't sweat buckets, I don't want to take them down.
I'm taking these things down.
August.
I don't know. So if anybody still has Christmas stuff up, or if you're just making it work for whatever holiday is the next one, you're not the only ones.
I'm still not getting the Easter thing.
Why? People want to put decorations out for anything.
Okay, I'm about to listen. I'm going to tell you what I think about Easter.
At me?
Because I'm pointing because I'm going to make a lot of people mad.
Yeah.
All right, but here's how I feel about Easter, and this is not nice, but this is where I'm at on the holiday train. Okay, Easter is the equivalent of the zoo. Like Easter is to Christmas as the zoo is to an amusement park. And here's the deal.
Oh, it's not like the big one?
It has all the trappings, but the stuff that's really, 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 really fun, it's not there. So there's no rides.
You get a dinner with family, but that's it.
That's the worst part.
That's it.
Like, your family didn't show up with any presents.
But you still have to have dinner with them.
Like, you gotta
So why not decorate?
You don't get a day off.
Listen, this house in my neighborhood in the front, I assume this lady who owns it has an elaborate display for every holiday. We're talking St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Valentine's Day. Like, it had a big thing, the whole front porch.
She's dead inside.
Well, I don't know what she's
trying
to do.
Something.
But like, we're talking, the tubs that you put things in. She'd have several tubs worth of decorations for everything.
Maybe she owns a Menards.
Maybe, but
she just hits. She owns it, so like this is all the stuff people wouldn't buy. She just takes it home and puts it up.
Could be exactly what's going on.
I'm not so much mad about what they say. I'm mad that they think any of us want to hear it. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
You don't always know if the stuff you read on Reddit is real, right?
Yeah, I hate to say it, I kind of believe Reddit more than some other sources, but I do understand it is sourced from people that can just post anything.
Right. But here's one that I do kind of love. Here's like a story of a maid of honor who they were basically talking like, hey, what's some of the most ridiculous crap you've had to put up with at a wedding? The bride insisted on having goldfish bowls as centerpieces.
Yeah.
And a few of the bridesmaids are like, what are we going to do with all the fish when it's over? Don't do this, whatever. And she was insistent upon it. And the idea was, and this is the part that is so dumb. Well, okay, this is the part that was a unique and interesting idea.
Well, I could track with the goldfish in the bowl, but then what do you do with them?
Well, the idea was that you were able to take them home as a, now you can have fish.
A souvenir thing. It's your party favor.
It's your party favor. No one took them home. So the bride leaves for her honeymoon. The maid of honor ends up with several hundred goldfish.
Oh, that's how many? Oh, I thought you just meant it was like 7 or 8 like bowls. What do you do with that then?
Well, she took them home. She said most of them died within a few days.
Oh,
because in fairness, goldfish don't live very long anyway. But she said that she had one of the goldfish that outlasted the marriage. Ding!
How long did it live?
Over 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was afraid you were going to tell me like she flushed them all or something.
Well, we don't know.
How did the other ones go?
Yeah, the other thing, though, is like, okay, goldfish dies, flush it down the toilet. You don't give it a whole lot of thought. Maybe you do, but I just mean about the burial process.
Sure.
Whatever. Now, that being said, I don't know how your bathroom is, is it equipped to handle a few thousand flushes? How many goldfish can you flush at once?
Adam just texted they did Siamese fighting fish at their wedding and gave them away, and one of them lived 2 years.
How's the marriage, though?
It seems like with Adam, he's saying it's still there.
Must be okay. All right. Okay. You know what? I don't need a party favor.
Why?
At a wedding?
Yeah. Well, it's good. Like some people do like cookies or like, like something you can take home and eat. That's fine, but that's not the goldfish.
I don't need a goldfish. I don't need like a toy.
A whistle, a bell, bubbles.
Take this pad and paper and write a note to us that you'll send to us 1 year from today. Nobody, like 2 people are doing that. Whatever. You know what? Okay, here you go. I must be really bitter today. Maybe I'm tired.
It's the allergy
Maybe
medicine.
It's the allergy medicine I took.
I think it is.
But here's the bottom line. It's all a big scam, guys. People are sitting in rooms going, you know what? People blow money at weddings. What can we sell them? They're just blowing money like crazy. What can we sell them on their wedding?
Someone texted, so they had goldfish and bowls at the tables at prom. People were feeding the fish the Parmesan cheese from the lasagna, and they're pretty sure that the bass from the music killed half of them.
Feeding them the Parmesan cheese
from the lasagna.
Yeah, I'm sure the fish are like, this is the best day of my whole life.
What? We're finally at prom. We made it. And then student council members were left with a lot of fish at the end. I think it's great. Never would have thought of that.
And just to be clear, prom and weddings, same industry.
Next time we have
Same industry.
a football party or for a game or something, we're doing fish.
I got a thing in the mail that was not a wedding invitation. It was a save the date for the wedding.
That's normal.
It's stupid.
Why?
Because if you're going to go to all that effort to send out a paper, just send the freaking invitation. Let that paper be the invitation.
That is your allergy medicine being angry. Save the date is a nice thing to let them know, hey, coming up in months down the road, we're going to be having a very big day.
No.
Don't plan anything that day. Your invitation's coming later.
That's what an invitation is.
No, that's not good enough anymore.
Exactly.
Like
this was like they sent me this thing that was like a photo of them and then an embossed note. And I'm like, guys, this is an invitation.
No, it's not. It's save the date.
I'm going to contact you and say, don't send the invitation. I already got one. Save the invitation. Okay? And I'll save the date. We're fine. You could have emailed me.
That would have been fine.
Google Calendar invite. Because guess what I did with your save the date? I threw it away.
No, you recycled it.
No, I didn't.
Just threw it away.
Straight to the landfill, baby. And I put it inside. I put it inside a styrofoam cup and I lit it on fire. So
okay, now I think it is whatever allergy medicine you took, you're hurting.
Don't want to talk to the riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
boy, I had a lot of people texting about the wedding stuff, right? Okay.
You really hit home with that in the topic of the fish at a wedding or a prom.
Okay. Here's the thing that a lot of people say, like, are you bitter? You didn't get invited, different things like that. Listen, I'm going to talk about this one more time, but I want to tell you that what I'm saying is this is not wrong, but industry exists on two levels. One, you identify a need and you meet the need, or two, you create the need.
Yeah.
So when you look at the wedding industry, you've got a group of professionals that realized there was money in throwing a party. So they make dresses, et cetera, et cetera. But if you really take a close look at weddings and prom, they are two places where industries have driven those two together. So like prom used to be people got a girl got a dress, a guy got a suit or something nice, and they went and had a final dance at school. And it used to be when you got married, you got a dress, a guy got a suit or something, and you had a final dance for life or whatever, right?
For being single.
Right. And so you can see where this industry has driven the other, and like it just continues to escalate. So it's like prom now, it's like you've got your DJ, you have to have a party favor, you have to have a nice dress, you have to have and then it was not enough to just ask for prom. Now it has to be promposal. And now what do you need for your promposal? You need photos of your elaborate promposal. And now you can hire people to help you make an elaborate promposal. Then you need formal pics of the promposal, and then you need formal pics of the actual prom itself.
You're going to need
and then
drone
the after
footage.
Prom and like all that stuff. But then look at weddings. Weddings are like, okay, it's not enough to just have the wedding. You have to also have the engagement. You have to have the engagement pics. Then you have, and it's like on and on. And
Sure.
they are literally they have set weddings and proms up to be the exact same things. And you can see where those industries, like, they compete with each other. And I've DJ'd enough weddings and proms to know that one year you'll see something at a prom, and then about 3 years later, all of a sudden they're doing that at weddings now. And you'll see something at a wedding, and pretty soon, they're doing that at prom now. It's because the service providers for prom are the same service providers for weddings, and they're always looking for a way to keep the job going, make some more money. It's not wrong, but I do think every once in a while it's worthwhile to stand back and go, okay, wait a minute.
You don't have to do that.
So the invitation people want us to send an invitation, and they want us to send a pre-invitation?
It's an invitation for the inviation.
And it's
when you could just email that out.
It's just one of those moments where I think sometimes when we take a step back and we really take a hard look, critical look. And remember, critical's not wrong. Everybody seems to think if you think something through, you're doing something wrong. You're not thinking something through. You're going, wait, you want me to pay you twice to convey the same information when I could pay you once? Or I could just use free online editing tools and print this at Kinko's and do it myself. Just saying. There's a real DIY spirit that doesn't always find its way into these circles.
True.
and this might be a good time. And I'm going to say one last thing about prom.
Sure.
Have I been mean yet?
No, not at all. You're passionate in a strange way, but
yes.
That's all right.
Having had an up-close look at this is something that I have thought about so many times. Just remember, if you're listening and you're about to go to prom, you aren't getting married. I feel like you get tricked into thinking prom's like super important and you're going to get married. And I want you to know that all the time and money and effort that you've put into prom, you are 6 months from not caring. Because let me tell you what.
Breaking up or what?
Well, I'll just tell you this. That prom memorabilia that you think is so important, your freshman year of college, you will take it. You will take it to your dorm room with you, and then people will make fun of you for having it, and you will either hide it or throw it away.
So it's better to save the money, because that you can keep, and you'll want to hold on to that.
I'm just saying.
All right.
It's something to think about. Don't think mean. You're just thinking critically.
But don't let that stop you from thinking.
And 3, you're trying to keep yourself from being fooled by a bunch of people that are playing off your emotions and sentiments. So that's all I got.
Is that it?
That's all I got. Was that mean?
No, not at all.
Was that wrong?
No, not at all.
See, Nikki, you say I'm passionate, but you wouldn't believe how many things just like that I have locked away.
You do?
That we just don't talk about.
You need to take more allergy medicine so it gets unlocked.
Just gets out? No, it's not the allergy medicine. It's the news. The news sparked something today.
Dear Radio U, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the Riot. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Oh, we finally hit it. The Days Gone embargo has lifted.
Oh, we talked about that earlier.
We did. So basically, everybody, let me give you some headlines here. The Verge says Days Gone, lavishly produced, painfully generic.
Oh, wait. Days Gone is a zombie game, which is coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's out for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 only.
Mm-hmm.
And part of what makes it a big deal is that the big kind of like thing about the PlayStation 4 this time around has been that if you like playing large single-player games, it's been the place to do that because they've had Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Ratchet and Clank, which was a good one, even though it wasn't as long. Like, there's just a long list of games that have played very well there. So this is the next in that kind of lineup of games, and so people have been wondering if it was going to be good, and people keep using the word generic. Tom's Guide says Days Gone, a polished but dull zombie adventure.
Yeah, but think of it this way. At least it looks good. You know, like it might still be worth trying.
Slant Magazine, Days Gone demands your submission to the content treadmill. Kotaku says, where's theirs? You'll like your name a lot more after people call you Deke for 30 hours. Generic open world survival, thrilling zombie hordes, bugs, a bland story, lots of overly familiar gameplay.
Yeah, it seems like other games, though.
So,
which is not always, it's not the worst thing.
It seems like maybe like a 7 or something in that mix.
That seems like a C plus maybe.
Yeah.
So not the worst again.
Maybe a B minus just for the strength of
Are you going to do it this weekend? You're taking tomorrow off, so we got Worst of Riot tomorrow.
I think what I'm probably going to do is just keep playing the Division 2. This doesn't seem like something that's quite worth running out to grab. Yeah. And I haven't, over the last, I guess technically 4 weeks now as this week wraps up, I've been so busy, I've barely played games at all. Like, I mean, I just have barely, and when I've had time to do that, I've been so tired, I didn't even want to. Because you sit down, you spend your day problem solving or working through stuff, and then when you sit down, you're like, hey, here's a new problem to solve. Oh, I don't think so.
Well, if you're doing the Division, though, that at least you know it's not too much.
You're solving with guns, but you're still solving.
And you're familiar with the game, so it's not like you have to learn something new.
No, that's something right there. Tomorrow, I can turn on the Division and start playing, and I understand it already. Days Gone will be like, learn the systems. How does it work?
Well, if anybody plays it this weekend, let Obi know.
I would love to know. I still am interested in playing it. It's just one of those things where I'm not going to run out and buy it day one. Know what I'm saying?
The Riot's motto, Carpe Cupcake. Those are words to live by. Radio U.
Listen, everybody. I need you to get on board as we breathe life into a brand that up until now has been struggling just a little. It's had its peaks and valleys. But, Nikki, we're climbing back up on the peak.
So what are we supposed to like again?
No, I don't want to talk about what it is. I want your assurance
that we'll like it no matter what.
That when we tell you what it is, that you are going to bleed this brand.
No.
Blood brothers, but you're a sister. But blood
people.
Siblings.
No,
people of the blood.
I want to know first before I commit to something that much.
I can't believe you.
What is it?
Can't you trust me? Can't you trust me?
Not all the time.
Isn't it more important that the corporations are happy and the money gets made than things like, what is it? Tell me.
I want to know.
We're bringing it back. It's going to be bigger than it ever was.
What is it?
But, Nikki, it's going mainstream.
What is it?
We're going mainstream.
Star Trek?
Wait, let's not get caught up in names.
Is it a CBS
or
All Access thing?
preconceived notions. No, that's what's even more exciting. You're not going to need CBS All Access for this, Nikki.
Are they remaking the whale one?
What? No.
Wrath of Khan?
Eric really has something he wants to say.
What is it?
What is it? Say it.
What is it? They're coming up with an animated star. Oh, I love, dude, people are starting to guess before we say what it is.
You guys don't need to guess. You guys
Kyle
don't
says,
need to.
Is it Movie Pass? Yes.
No, it's not, Kyle. It's Star Trek.
It's Star Trek. They're coming out with a Star Trek cartoon on your favorite
CBS All Access?
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon?
Woo.
No. Okay, there once was a Star Trek animated series.
There was?
Do you remember how boring it was? It was the Star Trek show as a cartoon. It wasn't kid-friendly per se.
Was it made in an ironic way?
No,
or?
it was real. It was just animated. But, Obi, are you ready for what they're going to change to make it kid-friendly?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want this? You want the canon of your lovely Star Trek to look like Teen Titans Go?
Listen,
well, actually, I like Teen Titans Go.
And I know that's a great show, but I'm just saying you are so in love with these characters. Do you want to see them as caricatures of themselves?
Oh, sure.
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to be honest. I don't care anymore.
You don't like Star Trek like you used to.
I don't care anymore.
Okay, I was just wondering how reverent you were.
No. I really don't care anymore.
You used to be more of a fan?
I still love Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, but these days I don't care. I started watching the second season of Star Trek Discovery on CBS All Access.
Yeah.
And I got to the 4th or 5th episode, and I was just like, you know what? I just can't. I'm just done with this.
So this will be on Nickelodeon?
Yeah. It's going to be on Nickelodeon. So we got to get cable back so we can watch the...
Woo!
Now remember, Nikki, you were supposed to pledge your allegiance to... I pledge allegiance.
I really am glad that I waited
the brand.
because I am not behind that, and I do not want to be behind that.
But remember how you didn't like Teen Titans, but you like Teen Titans Go?
I love Teen Titans Go. I love it.
What if it's Star Trek Go? What if it is?
I don't think Nickelodeon does that style. I don't think I've liked a cartoon on Nickelodeon.
Is Teen Titans Go? That's on Cartoon Network?
How many
isn't
seasons has it been and a theatrical movie? Trust me, they're going to mock that style.
I loved the movie. That's what you need to do.
I still haven't seen the movie, but everybody said it was amazing.
I'm just going to give you my Amazon login so you can watch that and you can watch the other show. We have a lot you need to catch up on.
Tell them right now. Tell them right now.
What do you mean? Oh, no, you guys. You guys can't hear that.
What about this? I'll do that in exchange for my Apple ID, and you can watch the 2009 Star Trek J.J. Abrams reboot.
Gosh, no thank you.
We are going to have the best weekend.
You're not bringing anything to the table that I want. I think that was on Netflix, isn't it?
Nikki, I pledge allegiance to the brand
of Star Trek
that Viacom tells me to love, and to the captain for which it stands.
So when is the cartoon supposed to come out?
They don't know.
They don't know, just upcoming?
Somebody somewhere in a boardroom was like, guys, we got Star Trek. Start making money on it. Start whatever.
Start going.
Can we make cereal out of it? I don't know. What about a branded Oreo? Is it a flavor?
I never heard of this one, but Andy said you can watch the animated Star Trek on Netflix.
Yeah, it's there.
It is there. Boy, you guys do not get the same suggestions that I do. I've never seen that.
I've seen some of the Star Trek episodes, the cartoon, but think about this. As nerdy as I am, I was like, yeah, I'm good.
It's too much.
Think about that. Think about that for a minute.
Thank you, Gabs, for texting. Loves Teen Titans as well. Hasn't seen the new one, but...
Everybody's on board for Teen Titans Go.
Maybe
Nikki,
we'll go over there.
Star Trek went. It's going to be very exciting.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, I mean, I've said this to you before, but like your phone sucks.
It does, but I have the newest hotness.
I know, but like your new hotness is like so passed into the great beyond.
It's nothing.
It's 4G. I get embarrassed for you just saying it out loud.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't even come in.
How many G's do you have? 4?
Yeah, but you know what? We all have that.
You know, Nick, you sit at the other table, not here.
No one else is at
This is the cool table?
No one else is at the 5G table yet. It's there, but no one else has anything.
That's where you're wrong. Chicago, 5G.
Yeah, but how many people are in Chicago, in the area, using 5G and have a 5G phone?
Well, Nikki, I'll just let you know, the cool crowd is always going to be smaller than the mainstream crowd.
It's very small.
Right, it's going to be different.
Who are not there planted by their website or their tech review blog and have to live in Chicago to use the 5G while they write their piece on it.
Well, I want you to know that the people at Verizon have just announced that they are going to be, and I love this, lighting up. I mean, that's great. That's how
another city?
Lighting up. No, not one more city.
How many more?
20.
Oh, it's not going to be any of ours, is it?
Yes, it is.
Wait, what is it?
Oh, did you see what just happened? Did you guys see?
Get ready. I'm interested now.
Did you see what happened?
Okay, let's hear the cities.
All right, this is
wait, for 5G, I'd have to get a 5G phone.
That's right.
Okay, so
because your phone sucks now.
Because my phone doesn't do that.
You heard me say that, Apple. Okay, here you go. You ready?
What?
Okay, Atlanta, Boston, Charlotte, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Dallas, Des Moines, Denver, Detroit, Houston, Indianapolis, Kansas City, Little Rock, Memphis, Phoenix, Providence, San Diego, Salt Lake City, and Washington, D.C.
Those are the ones coming?
All getting 5G this year.
This year?
Now, here's the great deal is that Verizon up until this point has said like, hey, 5G, there's a $10 premium every month that they're going to charge you for it. And they say, hey, in these cities, if you sign up this year, no premium, which of course is not a premium. We just raised the price.
Yeah, that's not supposed
to
see it that way. It's just a new price. It's an increase.
They didn't say
Wasn't there some sort of adapter or something that you can do to make your existing phone work?
I believe if the Moto series of phones have an adapter because they've got that whole modular thing going on.
Sure.
If I could be wrong about this, so you may want to do a little looking, but it seems like the Samsung S10, Galaxy S10 is one of the only 5G phones that are like 5G capable out there.
So it doesn't matter, right?
There's a 5G version of it. No, it does matter because, Nikki,
I'm not getting a Samsung phone. I'm not getting a Samsung phone to get 5G.
You still want to slum in the dump with your iPhone?
Hey, you know what? I'll just be over in the network that works until they iron out all the problems on the 5G.
Whatever, the 5G will be awesome because no one will be on it.
I know, actually, that would be true.
Like, you'll never get data speeds like you'll get when that network first starts.
I just don't do much. I have a small window of transit where like I'm going to work and then I'm at my house, so I just don't have a large need for 5G because I'm not watching or doing a lot outside of that.
You open the Netflix app, and you know sometimes it takes as long as 2 seconds for the movie to start.
What's it going to give me this time?
We're talking like half a second.
Well,
tops.
that is impressive.
That's a second and a half they're giving you back in your life that you can do whatever you want with.
So if you have a 5G enabled phone, and if you're in one of those cities that we mentioned, that'll be coming this year from Verizon.
And just a heads up, I was looking here. If you want to go ahead and snag the 5G capable Samsung Galaxy S10, if I'm reading this correctly, and I've been wrong before.
Well, Frog just has said the S9 is enabled as well.
Oh,
so the active part, so maybe.
All right, so maybe you're good. But this says right here, it looks like the S10 is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,400.
Well, that was the price of my phone, so it's not like that sounds bad anymore.
You know, Nikki, you're going to be right in the meaty part of the demo.
They're trying to get me.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
What if I came over and peed in your driveway?
Okay.